why is it that so many people in this world are captivated by the concept of evolution, that they actually are the result of evolution from some single-celled organism? Just the idea that human beings, the physical universe, and even life itself is merely the result of natural processes operating in a purely random fashion. It seems almost counterintuitive, especially when you consider just how much order and predictability we see in the observable universe. But in any case, evolution has been very successfully promoted throughout the entire world. And in this country, the United States, it's in public schools, universities, in all kinds of media, and it's widely discussed on the internet and throughout the popular culture. And it's even being used now as an excuse to completely reject the Bible and to reject the gospel of Yeshua. But the scriptures themselves actually help us to understand why this is occurring. In Psalm 14, the very first verse of Psalm 14, written by King David, we read, "The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none that doeth good." Now, some people may believe that atheism is a product of our increasing understanding of the natural world. But this Psalm 14, that was written thousands of years ago, shows that even back then there were atheists. There were people who rejected God in their hearts. They rejected the idea of God as a reality. We've always been able to replace God with our own opinion or with somebody else's opinion. And that's basically what evolution is. It's man's opinion of how the world works and how the world came to be and how humanity came to be. That's the role that evolution is currently playing in our modern society. It's become a philosophical alternative to the God of the Bible. In Colossians, in the second chapter of Colossians, verses 8 and 9, we read what is basically a warning from the Apostle Paul stating, "Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit,
Amen.
after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yeshua. For in him dwelleth all the fullness of the Godhead bodily. This is what evolution is one of those things that Paul is warning us about in this verse. It's not science in its purest form. It's a philosophy that uses some elements of science to basically to promote the traditions of men or the opinions of men. And in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 3 and 4, again, Paul is saying to us, he's giving us another warning. 2 Corinthians 4, starting with verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Yeshua, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. Again, this verse, one of the things that this verse is warning us about is evolution. It's being used by the God of this world. Who is the God of this world? In this verse, the word God is, the G in the word God is lowercase. You spell it with a lowercase g because it's not referring to the God of the universe, but the little God, the lower God of this world. That is Satan, the devil. And he has blinded the minds of them who believe not the gospel. Now, if somebody were to put a physical blindfold over your eyes, you would know that you were blind. You would know that you had lost the ability to see. But this verse is talking about the mind. The God of this world has blinded the minds of those who believe not. And they don't even know that they're blind. They can still see physically, but through the traditions of men, through vain deceit, through the philosophy of man, they've been blinded. And I used to think that you could address this blindness by reasoning with them, by using arguments against evolution. But now I realize that in most cases that doesn't work. And the reason that it doesn't work is because of what Jesus said. He said, "No man can come to me unless the Father draws them." Amen. It's not our words or human arguments that's going to do it. It's the Holy Spirit drawing men to Yeshua. And what we really need to do is to pray for the people that we're trying to reach, to pray for those who have been blinded by these vain philosophies, and ask the Lord to to draw them by His Holy Spirit. Thank you.
Amen.